I love the idea of the story, um, and I loved once I read it and talked to Rick about it. I love the idea that it takes this really polarizing political issue and honestly looks at it from every perspective, And there are, I mean, it's in many ways, this movie is going to be perceived as, LaMarcus against Coach Lazar, but it's really not, because LaMarcus is not wrong and Coach Lazar is not wrong, and the NCAA, which is really the antagonist in the movie, um, Catherine as the kind of main one that we focus on, um, is also not entirely wrong. When that system started, it was a system that worked and it benefited everyone. It just needs to change, and I think there's some level of agreement about that. The issue is how much, how radically, how quickly. He wants to develop young men, not only into winning football players, but he wants guys to leave his after 4 years, to leave that team equipped for life, and for a very very small number of them that life might be in the NFL, but for the vast majority of them it's going to be back to the farm like Emmett Sunday, or off to whatever it is in education or in business or in this or that, and the best coaches, like the best teachers of any kind, are trying to equip young people to be capable and decent human beings. Well, it's a really beautiful distillation of that coach player, star player especially, relationship, and because so much of it is, there are separate storylines through the movie, so we learn about that relationship more as backstory, more in retrospect, and very rarely in the story do we see LaMarcus and Coach Lazar in the same place. But again, that's one of the beautiful things that's woven through the script and the story is their love and respect for each other, and the fact that they're adversaries in this. They're both very reluctant, to play dirty. He knows that LaMarcus is an intelligent guy, and Emmett, and um, but I do think no matter how close you develop a relationship, these kids are cogs in a wheel, and they're going to move on, and you got to keep the machine going. You're recruiting, and you're developing, and you're building relationships, and then when they're gone, they're gone. And I mean, hopefully some of those friendships and relationships stay. But yeah, I think there is almost a naivete on Coach Lazar's part in assuming a naivete on the part of LaMarcus and Emmett. What the story does so well, and what drew me to it, is that the ambiguity in there. I mean, LaMarcus, whether you agree with his stance or not, and I personally do, he does some underhanded stuff to get there. He plays some dirty pool to get there, and when you're swimming with the sharks, to mix my metaphors, that's that's what you have to do if you really want to get it done. And that to me is the tragedy of this story.